All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, which is the name of the Most High, and Yahweh Shai, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And I just wanted to, give a couple thoughts, man, on, something I overheard, a few days ago, man. And I was, out and about, man, and I was overhearing a, conversation that, some people were having, man, about their, about their children and how, they were talking about this whole thing about how they're trying to, remove certain parts of history, in particularly, I hope I'm pronouncing that word correctly, the slave trade, right? They don't want to teach kids, how America was actually founded, right, off of, rape, robbery, and murder of, so-called black men, right? They don't want to teach their kids that anymore, so they're trying to, get that history, removed from out of the, school books. All right. So they don't have to, acknowledge it that happened, where, you got certain guys today and it's like, oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, that was a terrible thing, you know, but that was back then, right? That was back then. So, that doesn't, what does it have to do with today, right? But anyway, you know, hey, look, the Lord didn't forget, man. Okay, so it doesn't matter if rewrite your history books to expel the the teaching, about the history of America, how America was founded off of the bloodshed of the so-called black men, right? And the slave trade, in what is it, 1619, right? Which we know according to the Bible that was prophecy, right? The scriptures say in the Old Testament that the Israelites would be brought to America, or it says Egypt, but Egypt is America, by slave ship. What is that? Deuteronomy 28:68. Right, I'll bring you into Egypt again with ships, right? And Egypt is America, right? And that's how, the Israelites, or the so-called black people, got here. They were taken from Africa by the Europeans, and they were sold here in America as slaves, right? But they want to rewrite that out of the books. They don't want to teach kids that anymore, right? Because that gives America a a bad look, right? So they want to erase their history. Okay, but hey, look, the Lord is going to require that at your hands. Okay, it doesn't matter if you rewrite the books to not teach kids that anymore. You still have to pay for that. All right, America still has to pay for what it has done. Okay, and this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, at verse 15. It says, that which has been is now, and that which is to be have been already. But look, here's the point here. It says, and Yahweh requires that which is past. Right, so the Lord requires that which has happened, because that's how you get judged. Say, for an example, nobody's gonna, just to use a modern example, nobody would go out and, commit, let's say, the crime of, say, murder, or, of robbery, and then say the next day, oh, well, that was, 3 days ago. So, I mean, I'm a different person now. That was 3 days ago. I'm not, you know, not going to do that again, right? So, let me go this time, and, I won't do it again. Now, what are the courts going to do? You're going to get your ass put in prison, man. They ain't going to forgive you for that. So, by logical deduction, how can we conclude, oh, well, that was, that was, 100 years ago, that was 200 years ago, that was a couple hundred years ago, depending on the atrocity, of question, right? Whatever the topic of the discussion might be. Oh, but that was, 400 years ago what that happened, you know, uh, so why should we talk about it today? Right? So you see, it's the same line of logic. It's like, oh, wait a second. You can't go commit a crime this week, and if they find you a year later, they're still going to charge you for it. Well, I mean, couldn't we say, oh, well, that was back then? I mean, so that means, I don't got to, pay for, what I did. And that's what they're trying to do. But guess what? You ain't going to get that pass, man. You ain't going to get that pass. America ain't going to get that pass. You have to pay for what you have done. All right, America must pay for the rape, robbery, and murder of the so-called Negro. right? The so-called black man, which is the Jew of the Bible. And that's what they didn't teach the kids in school, is that the Negro, right, the so-called black man, is the Jew of the Bible. That's what they didn't teach the kids, though. They'll leave that part out. They know that to be true, right? That the Jews of the Bible are so-called Negroes here in America, right? And that part. I mean, hell, even the churches don't know that, right? Anyway, nevertheless, I just had a couple precepts I wanted to bring out. So yeah, man. This just shows you what this man's up to, man. He's just trying to, remove, from the history books, his actions and what he done, how he established his kingdom, right? Being, America, Babylon the Great. You don't want children to learn about that, how America was actually founded. That's not what they want you to know about. All right, anyway, Numbers 35 and verse 33. It says, "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defiles the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." Right, so the blood of the land that has been shed, and that's what goes into the scriptures, right? That's in when it talks about Babylon, right? It says that the woman, which is America, was made drunk with the blood of the saints, right? America was made drunk by the blood of the so-called black man, which is the Jew of the Bible, right? The blood of the black man has stained the ground of America, right? America was built off the rape, robbery, and murder of the so-called Negro, and it's just a fact. Anyone that doesn't agree, well, then you don't know what the hell you're talking about, all right? So, considering that fact, it says that the land can only be cleansed by the blood of him that shed the blood of the individual that, the blood of the land was defiled with, right? The one whose blood was shed, it can only be cleansed by the one who shed his blood. And that goes into, Revelation, the 13th chapter, verse 9 and 10, right? It says, "But he that leads into captivity, he himself must be taken into captivity. He that kills with a sword, he must be killed by a sword." That's what the Bible says. So you cats going around talking about, Bible this, Bible that. Well, what about this? I mean, I find it very convenient on how y'all cats, deliberately skip over this part, though. Right? That's what these guys are doing, man. Right? I got one more precept, and then we'll call that the video. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 16. It says, "And he that steals a man and sells him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death." Right, if you steal a man, we're going to even highlight that real quick. All right, if you steal a man and you try to sell him, right, and they found the man in your hand, right, meaning in your captivity, right, then guess what? And you will be put to death for that according to the law, right, the book of Exodus, right, which is one of the books of the law, all right? That's what it says, man. Right? If you steal somebody and try to sell them, right? Or, if you capture them and they're found in your hand, then, hey, boy, that's a sin unto death right there. Right? That's kidnapping right there. That's slavery right there. Okay, well, I'm going to read it one more time. Exodus 21 and verse 16. It says, "He that steals a man and sells him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death." Right? So there you go, man. As I said, man, this place, whatever you do, remove, from the history books, your dark history, that doesn't change the fact that it happened, all right? And that will have to be paid for at some point, okay? At some point, you're going to have to pay for your past, okay? And that's just what the scriptures say. So, as I said, anyone that don't agree, well, you don't agree with the text. It's very simple. And I thought that, I thought America was a nation under God, according to their anthem. I mean, hell, what was it? Even, what's that cat? Just like, George Bush, right? George Bush said when he was in office that America has the, right, the Bible as the law of the land. That clearly isn't true. Because what about all these homosexuals running around? The Bible says, "Thou shalt kill a homosexual." That's Leviticus 20 and 13. So it's convenient on how You know, he deliberately skipped over that part, though. Right? In court, they'll make you swear on the Bible, but they don't even go abide by what the text says. That is absolute hypocrisy. Absolute hypocrisy. That is the greatest hypocrisy of all, right there. And that's a separate video on itself. Anyway, you know, I'm gonna, you know, call out the video there. You know, all praise to Yahweh, Abashim Yoshai for its truth. And I'm gonna say shalom.